Good morning, Sac City. Welcome into another edition of the Sac City Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Vinny Milani, joined as always by my best friend in the whole entire world. He is Aaron Mukes in a car somewhere located in an unidentified location. He is not allowed to tell the entire world where he is at. It's secretive, super top secret. I'm just kidding. You can tell him where you are. I don't care. Not my life, not my business. Welcome into another edition of the Sac City Podcast. Episode 122 is about to kick off. No, it's a beautiful November 23rd morning here, one day before Thanksgiving, one day before Thanksgiving Day football. We've got previews for the matchups that we're going to see tomorrow coming up later on in the show. We've also got our DFS plays for that because we are not doing a show tomorrow, so we are going to get our DFS plays out of the way right now or today. We'll have that. And we've also got a power ranking show. It's Wednesday. We're not going to skip over the best part of Wednesdays. We know what you look forward to on Wednesdays. It's the power rankings. That's what we do on Wednesdays. It's power rankings. Aaron, how goes it today, man?
Are you done? Are you done?
I am.
It's good. It's good. I'm in a car. I don't have much battery on my computer. I'm trying to see if my other computer will link to StreamYard. That would be a huge benefit for this particular show because my battery is draining like crazy already. I don't know what my service is going to be like, but we're going to get through it. And we'll figure it out. But it's good. Day before Thanksgiving, my favorite holiday of the year, despite it being not the same this year. I will be all by my lonesome, but it's okay because this is what we do.
Thanksgiving is the most overrated holiday in the world.
That is not true. That is not true. You're an absolute disgrace for that.
Most overrated holiday.
Why is it overrated, Vinny?
Food is overrated. I hate being with people. The only thing good about it is football, and then I can't even watch it.
You hate being with your family, and why can't you watch football?
Well, because then you're eating dinner. We grew up, we weren't allowed to watch TV while we were having our Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, it sounds like you need a new family. That's what it is.
Well, see now we're getting to the root of the problems here. But I think it's the most overrated holiday. I'm not a big fan of like turkey. I'm not a big fan of I'll eat the lunch meat turkey, but I don't.
There's so much more food than just turkey.
I'm a big cranberry guy, big stuffing guy, big green bean casserole guy, I'm not a big pie eater.
What does that got to do with anything? It's the thing about Thanksgiving is it comes with the 3 F's: food, family, and football. It's the only time really that family gets together and doesn't have any expectations. Like you just get together because it's Thanksgiving and you eat and you watch football and you spend time with them. It's the only time I want to spend time with my family. Any other time, I don't care. Like that's just the fact that you say Thanksgiving is overrated might be the worst take that's ever happened on this Sac City fan.
I stand by
podcast.
it.
Yeah, and you're an idiot.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't make the power rankings, and that's what we're going to get into right off the jump because we've got a loaded show. We're not doing morning headlines, not doing an injury report. Watch our show on Friday. Watch our show on Sunday. If you want to be in on our injury report and in on our morning headlines, we've got a lot to get into, and we're not beating around the bush. You ready? Are you okay with this?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's get into your power rankings here. This is the time of the show where we're going in 1 through 32, ranking all the teams in the NFL, where they're at, where they placed, where they've jumped from last week. No change at the bottom. It's the Houston Texans at 32, but there is change at 31, massive change at 31. The Denver Broncos fall to the 31st spot. They fall 8 spots to 31 after being ranked much higher last week. Now they sit at 31. Panthers stay put at 30. Rams move down 5 spots to 29. Raiders move up. Bears move down. Saints move up. And Cardinals move down. Aaron, there is a lot of big movement. Probably the biggest jumps into the bottom we've seen in your power rankings, like so far this season. We're now, 12 weeks in? Or 11 power ranking shows in. And we've never seen teams fall so heavily into the bottom quarter here like we're seeing right now. 8 spots, 5 spots, 7 spots into the bottom quarter. which team stands out to you the most as just a ridiculous faller? They deserve to be here. Which team is on your mind here?
Yeah, I think it continues to be the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are bad, and it starts with Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson just hasn't lived up to the hype since he's been there. Obviously, they dealt with some injuries, losing key players like Javonte Williams, Jerry Jeudy at times. Has been in and out of the lineup. The defense is really good, though, so you have to look directly at that offense. And if you're looking at the offense, and you're looking at one guy, and that's Russell Wilson. So, yes, we can point to Nathaniel Hackett and what we think he may or may not be as a head coach. But at the end of the day, only one guy on that team makes $240 million, and his name is Russell Wilson.
Yeah, when we're 12 weeks through the season, things start to get repetitive. And I feel like with the Rams also at 29 and now the Broncos falling so far to 31, it's like we say the same things, but now it's just at an all-time low with the way these teams are performing. And it's just, like you said, the Denver Broncos, their defense is great. And that's the only reason why, if I were to question your power rankings, having them ahead of a team like Carolina. And that's as far as I'd put them. Because Carolina, I would say when you look at it, both offenses have been bad. Carolina and Denver.
What? Carolina's defense has been good. What do you?
But,
I mean, they just held down Denver. Are you sure?
Positive. That's a thing.
I mean, what do you mean that's a thing? Like, let's take a look at some of the games that the Carolina Panthers have either won or been a part of. And I don't think you can point to their defense and say that's the reason they lost. And the difference is the Denver Broncos have had Russell Wilson the entire season. The Carolina Panthers have not had any quarterback.
I'm not saying that they've been the reason why they've been losing games, but when you look at the reason why they're in, like, the only reason why Denver has won some of the games that they've won has been because of their defense. Like, that's where I'm at when comparing those two teams and those two defenses. Is Denver's defense can really single-handedly win you a football game. They're top 5 in yards per game allowed. I'm going through the statistical categories right now to point out they're number 3 in the league in terms of points per game allowed. They are one of the best defenses in the NFL. And Carolina is around that area, but not considered the best defense in the NFL. I'd say they're maybe top 10, somewhere around there, but they're not as good as Denver's defense.
Let me ask you this question.
Oh, boy.
Who are the 3 teams? They both have 3 wins. Who are the 3 teams that Carolina beat, and who are the 3 teams that the Denver Broncos have beaten?
I will have to go and look at that.
I can tell you.
Okay.
The Denver Broncos have beaten Jacksonville, Houston. No, stop. Jacksonville, Houston, and the one good win on their schedule, we could argue whether it's a good win or not, is the 49ers, who they beat 11-10. Prior to Christian McCaffrey getting there. The Carolina Panthers have beaten the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, have beaten the Atlanta Falcons, who are both in playoff contention, and the New Orleans Saints. Who are you telling me? Who are the better teams that got beat?
I guess you're right. I guess as you've now turned this into a college football-esque system here, and you look at strength of wins. And
I'm looking at who's a better football team. You can say, oh, they have one better unit. I agree. Denver's defense might be better than Carolina's, but the gap between Carolina's defense and Denver defense, it's not like absurd. And then you talk about the rest of their team. The rest of the team in Carolina seems to be better than what Denver's offense is doing. It's not like Denver has beaten some good teams and lost some games. Like, they've lost bad games. They've lost to teams they have no business losing to. And again, we can lament the fact that Carolina just played Baltimore 0-0 into damn near the third quarter. They played Cincinnati and they got whooped by Cincinnati. But prior to that, they barely lost to Atlanta again. They played well against the Rams. The Niners blew them out. I'll give you that. But again, the Giants game was close. The Cleveland game was close for Carolina. These are some close football games for a team that also has a really good defense. And you know what? It'll all be settled on Sunday because the Carolina Panthers play the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
That's gonna be wonderful.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, the Broncos at 31, the Rams 29, and then the Cardinals fall 7 spots. I wanted to ask you a question about them real quick before we move on. The Cardinals moved down to 25. They moved down 7 spots here, Aaron. Is this how much of this is on, like, because I mean, obviously the past 2 weeks they've been playing with Colt McCoy as their quarterback, but I feel like if you're moving them down as heavily as you did and into the bottom quarter of the league, it really isn't just about Colt McCoy being their starting quarterback.
No, they suck. The Arizona Cardinals are not a good football team. I've been saying that. They have no identity on offense. Kyler Murray doesn't look like Kyler Murray should. Cliff Kingsbury is lost. The Arizona Cardinals are just not a good football team. And so because they're not a good football team, they're going to continue to slide. You can't go into a game with a division rival and get slapped around like they got slapped around. I don't care who the quarterback is. Division games are supposed to be division games. They're turning the football over. They can't stop anybody. The Arizona Cardinals are not a good football team. I'm at the point now where I'm comfortable saying who's good, who's average, and who's not good. And the Arizona Cardinals are not a good football team. And I don't hear you.
Son of a bitch. I muted myself. Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, and it shows when you look at the power rankings, they've now fallen into the bottom quarter, the 25th spot in the NFL for the Arizona Cardinals. We'll turn our attention now to 17 through 24. The Steelers slot in at that 24th spot after keeping games very competitive, scoring a lot of points in the past 2 weeks. They go into 24. The Packers, big-time followers, moving to 23. The Browns, 22. The Colts, 21. The Jaguars, this is what I like about you, Aaron. This is what I like about you. The Jaguars cannot play, and they move up a spot. I'm happy about this. I'm happy. The Lions, one of the biggest risers of power rankings history here. One of the biggest risers of power rankings history, moving up 10 spots to 19. The Falcons move up 4 spots to 18. And the Washington Commanders move up 2 spots to 17. Let's talk about the big-time fall. Well, no, you know what? Let's talk about the big-time riser here, Aaron. I feel like that is the heaviest here that we have to talk about. It's the Lions moving up to 19. They move up from 29 to 19, 10 spots, riding now a 3-game win streak. Back-to-back games where they've won on the road, and one of them being against the New York Giants, who we were all very high on. Aaron, your thoughts about the Lions if I didn't already spoil it for you?
Yeah, I just think you have to give them credit for winning 3 straight and in the way they've done it. You have to have a defensive battle against Green Bay because your offense really isn't getting anything going. You're able to pull that one out. Then you get a game against Chicago where your defense isn't playing well and Justin Fields is running ramp shot on you, and so you have to score more. So they're able to do that. And then you go play a Giants defense that's played really well all season long in close games, and you go and you run the ball right down their throat. And I mean, they bullied the Giants right off the football field on Sunday. And that to me was what was most impressive about it. 160 yards rushing on the ground. They had conviction. They played bully ball and they won, and they bullied a team that usually tries to play bully ball against others. So I was impressed with the Lions, and the way they've played all season long has kind of intrigued me, but they kept losing games. And I said, well, eventually you get pushed down in the rankings because you lose games and you're not winning. But when you look at the schedule the Lions have had outside of 2 games, the New England Patriots when they got blown out and the Dallas Cowboys when they got blown out, every single game, 38-35, 36-27, 28-24, 48-45, 15-9, 31-30, and then they win 31-18. Every game has been close or they've won the game. And I feel like that's the sign of a team that's right there, and they've broken through the last 3 weeks. You have to give credit to them.
Yeah, and they're riding high right now on that 3-game winning streak, and in that 3-game winning streak, I want to take a look at this and see where their team is, and like, because their offense has been doing great. I feel like their defense has been turning the ball over at a ridiculous pace the past 3 on this 3-week stretch here that they've had. Turnover margin per game. Let's see where they are first in the NFL over the last 3 weeks in terms of turnover margin per game at a +2. Like, that's where we're at with the Lions. They deserve to be moved up those 10 spots, I should say. Where are we at with the Packers? I mean, I guess we don't need to talk about them anymore, right? Are we done talking about Packers? Is this it?
Do you want to play the intro?
I don't. I don't
Okay,
need.
then.
I don't need to.
We're done talking about the Packers. Aaron Rodgers' career, the Green Bay Packers. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
We're done. If you want to check out what I feel about the Green Bay Packers, go to our YouTube page. Click on this. Which episode was that? That Thursday night recap from last week. So it would have been
Yep.
Friday's episode, and it'll tell you all you need to know.
Yeah, episode 120, I believe it was the intro to 120. It's there. So the Packers, they continue to fall, though. They're at 23. The Colts in a loss move up 6 spots, but it was a good loss to have with rookie head coach, first-year head coach, I should say, interim head coach Jeff Saturday. They battled against the Philadelphia Eagles. They move up 6 spots to 21. And again, the Commanders right on the bubble, just like they are in the NFC standings, right on the bubble of being a playoff team. They sit right there at 17. Let's move on to 9 through 16, Aaron. Once this is, we always talk about how this is like the hardest to do. And then we say, I literally say this every time I intro this group. But it seems to be getting, is it getting easier to group these teams in this in this 9 through 16?
Yeah, it's getting easier to rank these teams in general, just all 32, just because the more evidence you have, the easier it is to decipher what these teams are about, what they have. And so, yeah, I did this power rankings in probably about a minute and a half, literally. I just typed it out and I went with right off the top of my head. And then I went back and I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I'm okay with everything I just typed out. And then now I'm here to justify it. And honestly, this group wasn't very hard. I like some teams here, but I also think some teams here are like the question marks. Like things have to go right for these teams to be really good, and that's why they're groups 9 through 16.
And I'm gonna assume the question marks really. I mean, I think you could say all these teams in this group have those looming question marks here. I mean, lots of these teams have quarterback question marks, and then the others have offensive line question marks. Like there is a lot of question marks when it comes to these teams. But we see this how it falls. The 16 is the Chargers, 15 is the Patriots, 14 the Giants, 13 is the Jets, 12 is the Seahawks, 11 Bucks, 10 Vikings, and 9 the Tennessee Titans. Let's start right there at 10, Aaron, with the Vikings falling 7 spots. They were once in your top 3 at number 3. Now they're just at 10, with borderline pushing, getting themselves out of the top 10. It wasn't just a 40-3 ass whooping, right? From the it wasn't just one game that you saw. Because I mean, some people will say that just one game, everyone has a bad game. You move them down 7 spots. That's not just having a bad game. There's more to it.
No, I told you before, they were one of the teams that I gave them credit for winning games, but I told you I never fully trusted. I know they're a good team, but I never fully trusted them for a couple of reasons. Number one, I didn't buy into this Kevin O'Connell. The offense is going to be so different. They scored 3 points. This is multiple weeks now throughout this season where their offense has not put up points or has not scored or moved the ball, even as good as they have in the past. And we were supposed to, we were already lamenting this guy's going to change the way the Vikings play football. And then the defense that I said was suspect and could be had been fortunate all year. They had some timely turnovers that they would create, come up with big stops in certain moments, and that's great. But you have to be able to just play sound defense. And they got ran through, ran over, ran on, thrown through. Defensively, they couldn't do anything. Offensively, they couldn't stop the pass rush. They couldn't run the football, or the lack thereof trying to run the football. So yes, serious concerns. Not to mention they lost a couple of offensive linemen. That one really good left tackle in Darisaw that he couldn't even block Micah Parsons. But the fact remains is this is a good football team, but they have questions. And like everybody else in the 9 through 16 category, I have a major question about them when it comes to the playoffs and their ability to go win a game.
Yeah, that's it. I have no arguments here on that. I wish I could respond better to this, but I can't, because the Vikings in that game, you lose at home in a big time matchup, a big time game against the Cowboys. Coming into it, we were like, okay, this is really your test. We're going to see how good and how big of a difference Kevin O'Connell can make with this team in this matchup against a very good Dallas Cowboys defense, a very good Dallas Cowboys offense, and they didn't show up. They didn't show up, and it was worse than their game against the Eagles. Remember that, where we were like, okay, this Vikings team, they're not that good. They got their ass whooped by the Eagles. This was the true ass whooping to the Minnesota Vikings from the Cowboys, and they moved down 10. They moved down 7 spots to number 10. We've already talked about the Jets.
I wanted to mention one more thing about the Vikings, because people say, well, they beat the Bills the week before. We have to understand the reason that this one hit so hard is that's cool. You got a nice win against the Bills. What happens when you get to the playoffs? You don't just get to play one good team and get a win and move on. Guess what's happening the very next week? You're going to have to play another good team. And then after that, you're going to have to play another good team. And so, yeah, it was impressive that they beat the Bills. But to go beat the Bills and then come back and get your ass whooped to the Cowboys like that, that's not impressive. And in the playoffs, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to probably have to go play just look at them now. So you're going to have to go play the Seahawks. Then you're probably going to have to go play the 49ers. And then you're going to have to play the Eagles to get to the Super Bowl. That is not that's hard to do. And if you're going to just play well one week and not be able to roll it over or continue that momentum, then you're not going to be able to get to the next level. So we are not judging the Minnesota Vikings based on can you win regular season games. I told you guys this before. I start judging teams now as if I think you're a playoff team, how far can you go in the playoffs? That's where my mindset is with ranking these teams. And right now I think Minnesota could win a playoff game perhaps, but I don't see them stacking 3 wins in a row to get to where they need to get, and that's the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And the team that beat them was the Dallas Cowboys, and obviously they're in your top 10. But how high did they go? Boom, right there, number 3. They literally swapped spots with the team that they just put an ass whooping on, the Minnesota Vikings. They now moved to that 3 spot. The rest of your top 8, no changes up at the top 2. It's the Chiefs and the Niners as the 2 best teams in the NFL, followed by the Cowboys, the Bills, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Cincinnati Bengals at number 8. With just talking about that game with the Cowboys and the Vikings, talking about the downside of the Vikings in that game, the team that put that ass whooping was the Dallas Cowboys. They move up to number 3, Aaron. They are legit.
Yeah, they are. Some numbers to back up what I'm saying. And this is gonna finally, and I know we're past the whole Cooper Rush, kibosh, and Dak Prescott. Like we all know Dak Prescott is a much better quarterback, and he was what this team needed. But weeks 1 through 6, and that does include Dak's first week where he played against Tampa. But I mean, they were like 23rd in points, 27th in yards, 16th in rushing yards. They were terrible. They were terrible. Since week 7, they're 1st in points, 3rd in yards, 3rd in rush yards, 6th in passing yards. 3rd downs, they're number 1. Red zone percentage, touchdown percentage, they're number 3. Number 6 in explosive plays, number 5 in sacks per attempt, and points per drive, they're number 1 in the NFL. If there's ever any proof that the Dallas Cowboys offense is far better with Dak Prescott than Cooper Rush, it's those numbers and what they've been doing as of late. The command that they've given, the ability Dak Prescott has taken to change plays at the line of scrimmage, to do things that Cooper Rush is not able to do, has been the difference in this team. Tony Pollard playing well, CeeDee Lamb stepping up. He's getting guys involved. And then when you have a defense like that, the Dallas Cowboys are legit. Now, is there question marks? There are. The question marks for Dallas come in small doses, right? It's when it matters, are they going to call the right plays? Are they going to do the right things in clock management? Are they not going to get penalties? Those are things that I feel like teams can overcome. Teams can't overcome not having a quarterback. Teams can't overcome glaring holes. But right now, outside of a bad 4th quarter against the Green Bay Packers, the Dallas Cowboys are one of the best teams in football, and they should be taken seriously.
Yeah, I mean, you look at last year and you talk about what it comes down to. Last year, they were a ref getting in the way of snapping the ball, that pushing that limit of the time away from possibly going on and moving on to the playoffs. And I think that's like what this team is. They're down to that clutch moment. They're down to that one specific play. The rest of the 58 minutes of the game, the 57 minutes of the game or whatever, they're a great team. You know that you're going to get a great team, but it comes down to those little things, clock management and things like that make the great teams great and get those Super Bowl rings. But the Cowboys are slowly getting to that, or or getting to that point where they're going to their real threat in the NFL as a whole. And it shows as you have them at number 3 in the power rankings here. The Bills move up to 4. They got to win this week. The Eagles move up. The Ravens move up. The Dolphins, they were on a bye, and they're on. Unfortunately, have to deal with the fact that everyone is moving up ahead of them. Kind of feel like that's where the power rankings fell for you. The guys move up. It's not so much the Dolphins moving down, right? Am I on the right track here?
The teams at the top won, and the Dolphins didn't play, and they won in a good fashion to me. The Eagles won a tough game that they didn't play their best, and they were able to pull away with the win. Baltimore, the same thing situation there. They had a tough game in bad weather against the Carolina Panthers, and they were able to get the win there. And obviously the Bills won, Cowboys jumping a lot of them. But yeah, honestly, look, there are these 8 teams right here at this point in the season through 11 weeks. If any of these teams were in the Super Bowl, it would not shock me.
Yep. Yeah, those are some good teams. And really we talk about it all the time. Like it's the top 8 and then it's kind of everyone else. Everyone else around them is just kind of floating and fluctuating, and really it's a top 8 and that's how it goes. Maybe you throw the Vikings in there and maybe eventually you throw the Bucks or the Titans on that list as well. But as of right now, it's the top 8 versus the world. And that is our week 12 power rankings right there. Chiefs stay at the top. The 49ers at 2, and the Cowboys are 3. There's your top 3 teams this week. Week 12 power rankings in the books. Let's go inside the matchups for some Thanksgiving football. That's right. It is time to go inside the matchup here with Thanksgiving Day football. First up, it's the Buffalo Bills taking on the Detroit Lions. And I would say they're traveling to Detroit, but they're already there. They played there Sunday. They've been there since Sunday. It's the Bills. It's the Dolphins. The Bills are 9.5-point favorites in this one with an over-under of 54.5 points. One team riding a 3-game winning streak and climbing fast in your power rankings. One team continues to stay really the same. The Bills have looked good all season long. They're a strong team. In this matchup, pretty much 2 teams that are on the opposite side of the spectrum in terms of the power rankings and where they stand in the NFL. What are you watching for in this game from a football standpoint? Watching for like these 2 teams. What are you watching for in this game?
Well, I always look for the upset on Thanksgiving because there's something special, especially about the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions playing on Thanksgiving. The Lions usually come out and start the game fast. Like they'll do something and they'll get ahead and it gives you hope like, oh, this could be the upset. It's Thanksgiving, right? But it doesn't always pan out that way. I think sometimes when you just play an inferior or a superior opponent in their case, you try, that momentum lasts for so long, and then it starts to fade and wane as the game goes on. And I think you can expect very similar storyline here. I think Detroit comes out with a lot of emotion. It's Thanksgiving Day. There's something special about playing on Thanksgiving, and the players know that. The players understand that, and they like that. They embrace it. And so I think Detroit comes out hot, but I'm watching Buffalo to just stay the course. Very similar to the way they did against Cleveland last week. Stay the course, and then ultimately the talent just prevails. And we know Buffalo's a much more talented team at this point, especially at the quarterback position where it matters most. So I'm expecting Buffalo to, at some point in time, middle of the second quarter, after halftime, to impose their will and kind of pull away in this game.
Yeah, and when you look at the rankings and the stats here, I mean, you talk about the defenses, and yes, the Detroit Lions defense has been able to force a lot of turnovers lately in the past 3 games on their win streak. They're still one of the bottom teams in terms of defense in the NFL, going up against one of the high-powered offenses in the league. But I think that's what I think stands out the most in this game. It's the conversations that we've been having over the past few weeks over Josh Allen's turnover problems. That's been talked about a lot, and the Detroit Lions turning the ball over. Do you see Josh Allen having a good game against an opportunistic defense, or what do you expect to see from at least from the turnover aspect of the game from Josh Allen and this Detroit Lions defense?
Well, I think as always, we want to overblow the problems that Josh Allen is having. Yeah, he's turned the football over, but guess what? 4 or 5 weeks ago, we said the same thing about Lamar Jackson, and it happens. These quarterbacks we think are supposed to be so perfect, and they can't. Like they're human. They have bad games. They deal with stuff. At the end of the day, he's 21-10, 21 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. I can live with that. I'm not concerned about Josh Allen at all. Is he going to turn the football over? Maybe. Is he still going to win the game? Yeah, probably. But he is human, and he's an aggressive quarterback. He's going to try to make throws and fit things in there. And if you're a good defense, like when they play the Jets or when they play the Vikings, who have been opportunistic, sometimes you get turnovers. It happens. Guys can throw interceptions. It's when you throw those interceptions and how you respond from those mistakes is what I'm judging you on. And Josh Allen's been one of the best in the NFL for the past 3 or 4 years now. I have no concerns about Josh Allen other than his health, making sure that arm is healthy. And maybe that's a reason for some of the turnovers. Who knows? But I'm not concerned about him.
All right. Well, without concerns for Josh Allen and the way this this matchup is shaping up, who do you have winning? Who's your what do you got?
Yeah, I love a good upset on Thanksgiving, but I don't think the upset comes here. I think Buffalo wins. And I think Buffalo wins handily, not big, but handily. 31-23, 31-20, 31-23. I'll give Detroit some credit after a good start. Maybe they score 14 early, and then they're only able to muster up some field goals late. So 31-23, Buffalo.
I'll go 31-17 Buffalo. I think similar to you that it's not going to be. It'll be a strong game from the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills offense. I do think there is something to be said about the fact that they've been in Detroit for the past 5 days. They've been getting comfortable. This isn't just like any other road game where they're just traveling in, they're in and out. They've been there. They're comfortable there. I think that's a storyline to follow in this one. And I do think that the Bills end up winning this game 31-14.
Whoa. You said 17.
Or 31, sorry, 31-17. And now you have to clip that. My apologies. The next game on our list, it's the New England Patriots traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. This one here between two teams, I don't want to do that, disrespect Kirk Cousins like that. Vikings hosting the Patriots on the Thanksgiving primetime game. This is not even the order that I should be going in.
Exactly. That's why I was frowning. I'm like, what are you doing?
I can't see you frowning. Your screen has been frozen for the past 39 minutes of the show. And we've been on for 33 minutes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, swear to God.
Why didn't you say something?
Because you can't fix your internet connection in your car.
Yes, I can. What the hell is wrong with you?
How can you fix your internet connection in your car?
Oh my God, bro. I literally hate you, Vincent Milani. I absolutely hate you. Oh my God. Bro, I apologize to all the viewers that we have such a special ass producer that doesn't say anything.
I have been throwing up graphics and B-roll constantly on this show to hide your frozen face. So I don't want to hear anything about this producing stuff because I am killing it.
No, you're not. You should have told me. My producer in real life would have told me in my ear, you're frozen.
Yeah, well, I can't help that.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. I'm going to take over solo here while Aaron leaves this. There you go, champ. Oh, wow, look at you. I can see you. I can see everything about you.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Wow.
All you had to do was tell me, hey, dude, you're frozen, because I'm not frozen on my end. I looked very sharp, and as a matter of fact, I'm a beautiful individual, and all the people were missing my beautiful hand movements and me staring at these construction workers out here in Atlanta and the hobos on the side of the road. Like,
Wow. Well,
unbelievable. You're unbelievable.
I am. I try my best to be as unbelievable as possible. All right, well, let's go into the right game that I'm supposed to be going into. And because none of that's getting clipped, none of that's going to live. The New York Giants traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. NFC East showdown on Thanksgiving. The 7-3 Giants, the 7-3 Cowboys. The Cowboys, though, favorites in this one by 9.5 points with an over-under of 45.5 here. Aaron, I talk to you about this all the time about the spread. And if this is a big spread here, 9.5 points for the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are that good, though, but what is your – I'm not going to ask if it's disrespectful to the Giants. I'm going to ask you your thoughts just on that number that's at right now, 9.5 points favorites to the Dallas Cowboys over the Giants.
I think it's fair based on what we just saw. Based on what we just saw from both teams with the Dallas Cowboys going into Minnesota and being able to do what they did offensively and defensively against an 8-1 football team. And then you turn around and you look at the other end of it, the New York Giants playing host to the Detroit Lions. They were at home and the Detroit Lions absolutely bullied them. I don't see that there's much of a difference here for the Dallas Cowboys game plan than what Detroit did. They're going to come in, they're going to run the football, they're going to get after Daniel Jones, they're going to try to eliminate Saquon Barkley, and then let the pass rushers get upfield. The Dallas Cowboys should win this game, but there are always some funky things in Cowboys games on Thanksgiving. So it could be a little closer than what the spread indicates, but I do think it's a valid number for the spread based on what happened last week. I know it's a division game, but the Cowboys are at home. They're rolling right now. That offense is looking good, and I think you have to account for that. And the Giants have continued to struggle offensively when they don't get production from Saquon Barkley.
How do the Giants bounce back this week after what took place last week? A very disappointing performance to the Lions. How do they bounce back? What do they need to do to bounce back here?
Only Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley, and this is going to be the running theme for the Giants, Saquon Barkley has to account for 120, 130 yards of production offensively, or they're not in the game. And if he does account for 120, 130 yards, that is just giving them a chance to win. He has to be special, 150 plus, to just go out in Giants right now. First of all, and I know. I see now. Lady, get out of my way. We're not even seeing guys like Adoree Jackson, who's off the field now. Wan'Dale Robinson, torn ACL. We haven't even mentioned the injuries that the Giants are dealing with, which I think is another big key. So they're going to have to play perfect football, and that's the problem with the New York Giants. I think they're a good football team, but they have to play perfect. And when you have to play perfect, it's hard to win in the NFL because playing perfect is hard to do.
Yeah, no, it is. This is only the fourth meeting in the last 30 seasons with both teams 4+ games over 500. This is a good time that for both these NFC East teams. Thanksgiving, though, big time matchup. You just said during the last preview that there's always one team that really just that shocks the world on Thanksgiving. Maybe it's the Giants. Maybe it's not the Giants. Who do you have winning this one?
For me, Cowboys win this game. I just think they're on a roll right now. They beat them earlier this year with Cooper Rush. I don't think it's a good matchup for the Giants. Give me the Cowboys in this one. Offense stays hot. 35-17.
I don't know if they stay that hot. I think this is a more low-scoring game. I don't know if I take the under. I'd have to do the math. I'm going to go 26-17. Yeah, I'll stick with another 17-point game here from the losing team. 26-17 Cowboys over the Giants. I think that the defense for the Cowboys is just too good. The Giants would be fortunate to get those 17 points in this game because of how good the Cowboys defense has been. Like you said, I think that the Giants are going to have to play perfect football, and I'm not sure Daniel Jones can do that. I think they're going to have to rely on Daniel Jones, which then leads to the mistakes, and the Cowboys win 26-17. Now we can get to it. The prime time game for Thursday night for Thanksgiving. It's the Patriots traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Patriots enter this game coming off of the shocking victory. I don't know if I want to say shocking, but the kick return to win the game over the New York Jets. They're coming off of a win. The Vikings coming off of an ass whooping from the Dallas Cowboys. Two opposite ends here for both these teams. Do you see the Vikings coming into this game with a vengeance? Do you see them coming in with fire in their eyes after what happened last week?
Fire in their eyes? No, I don't think it's that kind of moment where they have to. Yeah, it was a tough loss. Yeah, they got their ass kicked, but they're 8-2. They won the division already. That division's over. Now, does it mean they're going to be like with a little bit more urgency? Yeah, maybe, but I don't think this is some like, oh, we got to make a statement in this game now because what we did last game. I think they just need to find a way to win this game. They stay at home. That's nice. It's against a tough defense, and Belichick, is always going to have some wrinkle, but I do think they're more talented than the Patriots. So no, I don't think there's an extra level of, I'm going to say pressure, but an extra level of like, we have to get this done. I don't believe that's the case. I think every team wants to win, but I don't think there needs to be that extra sense of, oh no, this is a must win, or we have to make a statement in this game. I just think there needs to be a little bit more urgency. They need to have a game plan going into it, understanding what the New England Patriots like to do defensively and offensively, and make sure they play sound football. But I don't see this game as being something more than it is.
What do you think the keys are to this Vikings offense having success against a Patriots defense that over the last 2 weeks has been great? I should say the last 2 games has been great. Week 9 against Indianapolis only allowed 3 points. Week 11 against the Jets only allowed 3 points. Only allowed 224 total yards in both those games combined. Just an absolutely incredible performances from the past through 2 weeks from the New England Patriots defense. They've got 2 corners that I know we joke around about PFF all the time, but both Jack Jones and Jonathan Jones rank among the top 10 cornerbacks in PFF grades this season. So this defense is playing well. Matthew Judon, sack machine. What do the Vikings need to do to counter that great defense of the New England Patriots?
Well, I want to make it very clear. The Patriots have a good defense. I wouldn't call them great. Let's be honest. They take advantage of teams like the Jets offensively, the Colts, offenses that have not played well. But we haven't really seen them play an offense. Right? You go back to the last offense they really played. I want to say it was Baltimore, and that was all the way at the beginning of the season, and they gave up 37. If you include Chicago, they gave up 33 to Chicago on a Monday Night Football game. So I don't know that this defense is that great. I think they're good. I think they're sound. They have not seen an offense like Minnesota's, I'll tell you that, since week 1 when they played Miami, that has that type of weaponry on the outside, and Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook. So I think they have their hands full in this game. I don't think this is a game where the Patriots come in and just say, oh yeah, we're a great defense. We can lock down Minnesota's offense. They don't have the Dallas defense. And I think it's very clear when you watch them play. They rely on Matthew Judon to get to the quarterback. And if you can somehow protect or block him up, make some plays in the passing game. They don't defend the run very well and I know I'm frozen again. But they don't defend the run that well when you actually try to run it on them. So I have my concerns about the New England Patriots defense against big-time opponents. Now, we know Belichick's going to do his job. He's going to have them prepared. And that's the thing that Minnesota has to understand is what adjustments are you going to make at halftime? What adjustments are you going to make after the first quarter when you see what they're doing? That's going to be Kevin O'Connell's biggest question mark, not only in this game, not only last week against Dallas, but going forward in the playoffs. The teams that make adjustments are the teams that are going to win. And we've seen it now time and time again, teams that come out in the second half and play better because they now made their adjustments. We've seen Pete Carroll, who doesn't have the best team. We saw what he did in that game a few weeks ago against Tampa and was almost able to come back because of the adjustments at halftime. Zach Taylor did it all of last year. We watched the defense give up stuff in the first half, and we're like, oh, the Bengals, same old Bengals. And in the second half, they would lock up. And so what kind of adjustments is Kevin O'Connell going to make in this game? And is he going to be able to outcoach Bill Belichick in this particular game? I think that's going to be the decision or the deciding factor on whether Minnesota is able to win or not.
Yeah, I think that Dalvin Cook has to be a big part of this game. I think that's the game plan that they need to have going into. I think that they need to give Dalvin Cook the ball a lot. I know that you talk about how the Patriots defense has been beating up on the lesser teams like the Jets and even the Colts those past 2 weeks or past 2 games. But I think that Dalvin Cook, if they want to have success in this game, if they want to come out with the win, they're going to have to feed Dalvin Cook the ball. It is a revenge game, Aaron. And I'm not going to – I don't know if I should do the whole big-time revenge game part. But in 2008, the New England Patriots drafted Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell in the 3rd round. He threw 6 passes for the Patriots, all in 2008, and that was it. So it was a big-time revenge game for Kevin O'Connell. And for that reason, give me the Patriots here. 24-20. Oh, he's frozen. He's super frozen. He's okay. He's back.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Did you hear?
I did not hear. I heard who you picked. I didn't hear the score.
Yeah.
What was your score?
Patriots 24-20.
Yeah, I'm going clean sweep here. I'm going a clean sweep. I am going all home teams. I don't think there's an upset on Thanksgiving this year. I think the Minnesota Vikings are a better football team than the New England Patriots. And I continue to look at this Patriots schedule, and I'm looking at the games they've won, and they haven't beat one good team except for the Jets. They beat twice, and we know how that goes. The Patriots always beat the Jets. But their other wins are just it's Pittsburgh, Detroit, Cleveland, Indianapolis. They beat up on bad teams, and when they play good teams, they're not good enough because they don't have the explosiveness. Give me Minnesota in this one. And I told you, I think New England struggles down the stretch. I think they probably lose 3 of their next 4, 4 of their next 5, 5 of their next 6, maybe 6 of their next 7, just because of the schedule that they have down the stretch. Give me Minnesota in this one. And I don't think it's a real close game, but it's Belichick, so I'll give him some credit. I'll take Minnesota 27-16.
All right, we're split down the middle here. I have the upset. You have the Vikings here. That does it for our Thanksgiving Day previews. We'll be back on Friday with the rest of the Week 12 matchup previews. So be sure to tune into that show live at 10 a.m. Eastern time right here on YouTube at Sac City Pod. Aaron, I sent you the invite here. Let's get into our Thanksgiving prime time play.
Yeah.
That's right. It is time for our Thanksgiving prime time plays. And this is a little bit different than what our normal prime time plays looks like because it's not captain mode. You cannot do captain mode on multiple games. So we are back to our just straight up DFS plays, quarterback, running back, wide receivers. Like this is it. This is
Are we drafting or are we just picking?
So I was going to see how you wanted to play this because we can't normally, if you guys are new to the show, we normally draft when it's multiple games. That's on our Sundays live at noon for our fantasy shows. But in this case, we normally just pick. So what are you feeling? What are you feeling like?
I say we draft it. We drafted it. Forces a little bit of strategy.
Okay. All right. Let's do it like that then. Let's play the game then. Let's play the game. Who won this past week in DFS? Do you know?
I do know. His name was Aaron. His name was the Messiah.
So you can decide on the order.
Yeah, I'm gonna decide on the order, and I'm gonna allow you to go first.
I will go first then. I'm gonna take Josh Allen. That's where I'm gonna go first.
Perfect.
I can't have this screen up here. This is since we're drafting here. Oh shit! I need that though. But okay, we're good.
Perfect. I will take. I'm gonna take Tony Pollard.
It's a good pick.
It's my pick again, or are we doing 1-1? Yeah, don't be trying to take my pick. I am going Stephon Diggs.
Oh, that's a good pick. I had him. I was going with the stack. I was going with the stack skis. That's perfectly fine. Now I got that song stuck in my head now. Sorry. It's such a jam. That song is such a jam. All right. I see your Stephon Diggs. I'll go with the Cowboys defense because that's the only pick that I am for certain on. And then give me Gabe Davis. Give me Gabe Davis. I'll try and continue the stack. I know you took Diggs from me, but I will go with Gabe Davis.
Okay. I will go with CeeDee Lamb and the Bills.
No one heard what you said. I heard CeeDee Lamb and someone else. Nope. No one can hear you. Are you still there? Are you alive? Are you breathing? We've lost him, folks. I don't know where he is. I'm not looking at the screen. Oh, he's still there. I can't. I know he took CeeDee Lamb, but I didn't know. I don't know who he said after that. So I can't make my pick because then if I make my pick, then I might be taking his guys, and I don't want to do that. We can't do that. I can't have that on the show. We can't have that on the show. We got to figure it out here. Right? Breathe, buddy. Breathe. He's so frozen. He's so good at that. Oh, he's gone completely. He's gone completely from the show. Now it's up to me. I'll remind everyone where they can follow us at and pay the bills while he's gone and we're figuring things out here because I can't make a pick without him. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and the Tickety Talk at the Sac City Pod. We've got content posted daily on those platforms, so be sure to follow, like, and subscribe on those social media apps, whatever you kids call them nowadays, at the Sac City Pod for the best content in the world. Welcome back, Aaron Mukes. Okay, welcome back, Aaron Mukes.
Sorry.
Good.
I went CeeDee Lamb in the Bills defense.
Fantastic. I will go with Darius Slayton, and I will go with Hunter Henry.
Ew.
I don't like where the way my team is shaping up at either. So that's how this works.
Okay. So you.
I wish I could change I wish I could change my team as we go. Now that I know that I have a little bit more money than I thought.
I'm going Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Mm-hmm. I'll go Ezekiel Elliott and Dalvin Cook. Are you frozen again?
No.
Okay, cool. Holy shit, that worried me.
Don't be alarmed.
I was alarmed.
How many spots do I got left? 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm taking Devin Singletary.
I will go.
Oh, yeah, I got one more. Sorry. I'll be tripping.
Yep. Today, Junior.
Today,
we've got breaking news on the show. While you're doing that, breaking news during a team meeting minutes ago, according to Adam Schefter, the Jets players were informed that Zach Wilson is not starting Sunday's game for the New York Jets versus the Chicago Bears. So Zach Wilson out as the starting quarterback for the New York Football Jets?
New York Football Jets. What the? I will take Jamal Williams.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. Did you already make your 2 picks? Was that?
Yeah, that's my second. Yeah, that was my second pick.
All right. So for my final picks, I will go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I will go with Michael Gallup.
And my last pick will be. Hold on, I need to see something really quick.
Are you changing things around?
What? No.
Okay.
No, I just need to make sure I have a good grasp on what this person is doing in life. I will take Nelson Aguilar.
Okay. That's the dart throw that normally wins fantasy or wins DFS plays. That's how that normally works. That's normally works. My team: Josh Allen, Ezekiel Elliott, Dalvin Cook, Gabe Davis, Darius Slayton, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter Henry, Michael Gallup, and the Cowboys defense.
My team is Dak Prescott, Tony Pollard, Devin Singletary, Stephon Diggs, Nelson Aguilar, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, Jamal Williams, and Buffalo defense.
There you have it. There's our primetime plays, our Thanksgiving Day plays for tomorrow's action. We've got 3 games. Make sure your fantasy lineups are set. Make sure the players that are playing tomorrow are not in your flex positions. Make sure they're out of those spots and in your normal spots. Be sure to set your lineups. The first game is what, at 1 tomorrow? 12? 1:30?
12:30.
12:30, that's it. 12:30 is the first game. Bills-Lions, 12:30, the first game tomorrow. Be sure your lineups are set. Best of luck to you all. We are not here tomorrow. We're not here tomorrow. So everyone enjoy your Thanksgiving. Be safe. Have it. Spend your quality time with your friends, your families. Aaron, you spend it alone, miserable, and we'll be here. Oh, man, now I feel like a dick. Now I feel like a dick for saying that.
Hey, Vinny. Hey, Vinny.
What?
Fuck you. Number 1. And number 2, I want to say, since we talked about fantasy, I think Bailey hosed you. I don't know why you did that deal.
Why is that?
And we could talk about it off the air if you'd like, but I think you got hosed. I don't understand what your thought process was in doing that deal.
I look ahead for the playoffs. And I look ahead and I look at what we can talk about this after the show. We've got to go. Okay. That does it for another episode of the Sac City Podcast. We'll be back again on Friday live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, bringing you all of the week 12 previews. We'll be there. Everyone have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back then for our best friend, Aaron Mukes. I am me. We will see you Friday.
Peace out.